Okay, we got the NFL Combine coming up March 1st through 4th in Indianapolis. Our SEC insider here, Matt Zenitz, to discuss some of the Auburn guys that'll be headed to the Combine. We've got 6 guys in total planning to go, and as of late, some of the buzz surrounding quarterback Jarrett Stidham on Mel Kiper's board. He said he's a guy that he seems to think is underrated. What is your thoughts around his potential to land somewhere in those early rounds?
Well, NFL scouts have been saying the same thing. So, as frustrated as Auburn fans may have been with Jarrett during the course of the season, had heard really throughout the better part of the year that even with some of those issues, that Jarrett still had a real chance of going somewhere in the top 100 as far as draft picks and being someone who could go in that first 3-round range still. And Jarrett helped himself with what he did in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, had a positive week there. And I think he's going to look good throwing the football in Indy, which would do nothing but help him also. And he's also the kind of kid, I mean, you've been around Jarrett. Jarrett's a nice kid, has a good personality. I think he'll shine in an interview setting also. So I think the buzz will continue to build for him, and the week in Indy will probably do nothing but help him right now.
Yeah, definitely a well-liked guy there. Of the other 6 guys, who do you think really has something to prove, or of the other 5 guys outside of Jarrett Stidham?
I would say the biggest guy with something to prove is probably the one who's really been an underdog throughout the course of this whole process, which is Deshaun Davis. So Deshaun was a late invite to the Senior Bowl. Somebody who now gets an opportunity to go out at the Combine and show what he can do athletically. So it seems like he's overlooked a little bit as far as the linebacker group this year, somebody who's a fringe draftable type of guy that's viewed as, at best, probably a late-round draft pick going into this week in Indy because of some of those characteristics. So he's undersized, doesn't have the prototypical size that you look for with a linebacker, isn't going to be somebody that goes out and runs a 4.4 or 4.5 40-yard dash, but I think he's going to do well when it comes to, first of all, the bench press, and if he can go out and put up a decent 40 time while weighing somewhere in the 230 range, which it seems like he's in right now, that should help him to go along with the fact that once he did get that Senior Bowl invite, the fact that he did have a good week out there, which created some buzz for him going into now the week in Indy.
And of these guys in these last couple of weeks, what are you hearing about who could potentially be perhaps the biggest surprise going into the Combine?
So I don't know if they're necessarily surprises, but the 2 guys that I'm probably most looking forward to seeing out of the Auburn players that will be there are 1, Darius Slayton, and 2, Jamel Dean, the defensive back. So both are guys that are going to run extremely well. Darius Slayton's a former state champion, Georgia state champion in track, who's probably going to run it at worst in that 4.4 range in the 40, expecting him to do really well there. And then Jamel's another one that's just an absolute freak athlete. I mean, I would think he's going to run somewhere in the 4.3s, 40-wise, which is a terrific time for anybody, let alone somebody who has the size that Jamel does. And then I think he'll jump well, look good in drills, and he's somebody who's definitely in the early round conversation right now, and I don't think teams are going to be disappointed with what he looks like in Indy.
All right, thanks so much. He's Matt Zenitz. Thanks for all the insight, news, and notes as we head into the NFL Combine and NFL Draft coming up here in the next couple of months. For all your Auburn Tiger updates, you can visit us on AL.com.